Throughout history, alien species invading the territories of others have fueled the motor of extinction. But as human economic activity has spread to every corner of the globe, the process is speeding up. Tropical ocean islands were the very first ecosystems to become the victims of alien invaders. Hitchhiking aboard ships with the first human visitors, rats escaped to a bountiful paradise.
They're very competitive animals and they feed in a very broad feeding niche. So they'll eat seeds of plants, eggs, hatchling chicks of birds. They have an enormous impact right across the spectrum, and particularly, of course, on the endemic species.
While many invasive species like rats are introduced accidentally, sometimes seemingly harmless species are deliberately introduced into a new environment. The islands are officially protected under several international and European designations, and the government is under an increasing legal obligation to protect these bird populations. With no natural predators of their own on the islands, the hedgehogs have bred prolifically, and there are now more than 6,000. The problem is that the islands are a vitally important breeding site for huge numbers of wading birds that nest on the ground. While hedgehogs feed mainly on worms and beetles, they are also opportunistic feeders. They will have a go at almost anything they bump into. With so many hedgehogs in one place, bird populations are crashing dramatically. In the United States, alien weeds have a major effect on the agricultural economy. The rangelands of northwestern America have been invaded by a plant from Europe called leafy spurge. Its milky sap is toxic to cattle, and they can't graze it. Scientists have found flea beetles from Europe that feed exclusively on leafy spurge, and so have introduced this second foreign species to control the first. Government teams are now holding rangeland field days to teach ranchers the basics of biocontrol.
The world is getting smaller, and we're trading species all over the world. The most successful ones will, or the most robust ones will be successful, but I don't think the world's ready to have monocultures of single species.
I think we could be, by moving species around, both accidentally and deliberately, we could essentially be pushing ourselves that way, into homogenizing a world, into something that won't function.
Globally, I think we have to make people aware that moving items around the world is what causes these problems. It's often very difficult to get that message out, and getting that message out globally, I think, is going to take a commitment of all the countries involved. And that still hasn't happened.